tonight I have an interview with F3INT, who are a band from Bolton, a very young band, again, just starting out, but absolutely, lyrically and musically, very, very tight and so professional. And they were a dream to interview. And I got to interview not only the lead singer, but the bassist and the drummer as well. So you can hear that interview very, very shortly, plus a few of their tracks. Now, the band, it's spelt F3INT, but the E is a 3, so it's F3INT, if you want to look them up. So please do. I will be playing you the interview that I did with a very young band named F3INT, and we had loads to chat about. It was a great interview, and I've got a couple of their songs on as well, and they're going to be releasing a new track that I'll be playing out on next week's show. So stay with me for details of that coming up very, very shortly. So don't go anywhere. Now, speaking of original talent, I caught up with a band called F3INT, spelt F3INT, so the E becomes a 3, very unique. So go and check them out, go and look them up, go and search them up and find their Instagram and their Facebook and Twitter. And this interview I did with them was really, really good because I'd caught up with Cameron, the lead singer, many, many moons ago when he was like 11 years old, 2019. It seems ages off that, doesn't it? And now he is in this new band, and it was just so good to catch up with him. So this is how it went. In the studio at the moment, I have F3INT, spelt F3INT. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So how did that name come about? Why the number?
Pretty much it like shows that there's 3 of us because it's a 3-piece band, but also,
yeah, I should have really picked up on that, shouldn't I, really?
Yeah.
That's good. So who came up with it? All of you came up with it?
Well, yeah, we were trying to think of a band name for a while, and one week Teddy like missed rehearsal, but he'd like fainted. So we just started the name F3INT.
So you named it after his tragic accident. He fainted and you named the band. Oh, well, at least something good came out of it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Didn't it? So, wow, that's hilarious. So there's 3 of you in the band. You're very young. Obviously, Cam, I interviewed you when you were like 11. So we'll come back to that in a minute. We've got Teddy. How old's Teddy? And what does Teddy do?
Teddy's 13.
13, oh. Yeah.
What is it? Year 7. So
yeah,
and he plays bass.
And Willow.
Willow's also 13, and she plays drums.
Wow! And I've seen you obviously live, and I've seen videos, and you're very professional, very professional. When did you become the band then? Before you were, because you were on your own at first, weren't you?
Yeah.
Sort of. I remember you performing at the Bolton Christmas markets one year, and that was really good. I'd just done all my shopping, and I remember your dad had messaged me saying he's performing in one of the marquees. I was like, oh, okay. And as I went past, I heard you, and I was like, that's Cam. So I ran in and I was watching you, and it was fantastic, by the way. That was before the lockdown. So who knew that would be the last like live music before all that time?
We all formed, about a year ago? Like, when Willow was brought in, it really started, like, I don't know, progressing as a band. We started, like, taking things, like, a lot further. We've progressed, like, loads, I think, over the past.
I think you have. You've got videos out and all sorts. I mean, that's. I mean, a lot of people are in bands, but they don't go, like, doing radio interviews or making videos, and, you know, you're really, like, pushing it. Is this something you really, really want for you all?
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's the hope, to make it big and like headline our own shows and all. So.
Yeah. So you're the front man, aren't you, Cam?
Yeah.
Is that who you are?
Well,
the one who wants the attention and the one who wants to speak to the crowd.
Oh yeah. I just get a rush out of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really good.
Totally. Yeah, you're gonna do. You know what I mean? And that's like I was saying to you before you came in about the personalities that fit like the roles in a band. You are obviously very much like obviously outgoing and everything like that, and you're the singer, you're the performer, you're the nominated speaker for tonight. And so are you kind of like the one who writes the lyrics and does the melody, or is that a collective thing between you?
Well, what we do, like, to make songs, we come up with ideas and we like bring it to rehearsal, and then we kind of come up with the song there. But I try and like write the lyrics and stuff.
You can't have a band without Teddy and Willow. What do Teddy and Willow do?
Well, Teddy, he plays bass in the band.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you've seen, well...
The bassist.
Exactly.
You can't have a band without bass. You've got to have that bass. Exactly. And what about the other instruments? What does Willow?
Well, Willow's on drums, yeah. When all the three parts come together. Yeah, as you said, you obviously can't have a band without them.
Exactly. So do you think you all work well together, or do you have arguments? Or
to be honest, we've not really argued.
Yeah, so. Willow and Teddy seem pretty chilled, you know what I mean? So that's a good thing. I think you do have to have the mix of those personalities, don't you? You can't have like three Camerons. That's why it works. You've got to have a mix of personalities, otherwise we'd all be doing the same job, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So I'm going to play this track, Summer, now for everybody. What is that song about? Because that is actually my favourite that you've done at the minute.
It's about like, you know, the summer months, you're feeling really good, it's really sunny out.
Rachel from BoltonFM, and I have F3INT in the studio with me. They're a band from Bolton, a very young band, aging from the ranges of 13 to 14. And I've got Teddy in the hot seat now. Hey,
hello,
Teddy.
Hello.
You all right? Tell me about your role in the band.
Well, I'm the bassist, and then we both all just jam together. I guess.
Yeah. You all seem very, like I said to Cameron earlier, you all seem very like you get on, and like you've got a mix of chill personalities as well as some like outgoing personalities. Does that work for you as well, Teddy?
Yeah, that's works for me.
Yeah. And I love your name as well, Teddy. Tell me about that. Is that short for anything?
Edward.
Is it?
I think.
Oh, I love that. Do you look forward to gigs? Do you enjoy performing?
Yeah, I love performing.
Is it where you feel you're at home? Yeah.
Yeah, since I started music, I just wanted to get to this point.
When did you start music?
6 or 7.
And who introduced you to it?
My parents.
Like through school, or was it like private lessons?
It was just my parents, and then we went to music lessons, and then that's it.
And then it just went from there. You thought, this is me. Is that obviously your favourite instrument, playing guitar, like bass?
Guitar and bass are my favourite.
Like, do you contribute any, like, music as in melodies, lyrics, or have you got any plans to sort of do anything where you kind of take control as well as, like, maybe... Because more often than not, the lead singers kind of write the music or the lyrics. Right? Is there anything that you want to do, or is there any input you want to have in the future?
Well, what I do is just, like... I bring up some ideas because Cameron's literally the best at music and stuff.
That's lovely.
He is though. He's the best, bro. Cam comes up with some of the bass stuff, and then I just add a few more bits into it just to change it up a little bit.
I like your dynamic. I like how you appreciate that Cameron can take the lead. You know what I mean? He's not like being egotistical. He's not like, controlling you. He's just basically good at what he does. And you work well with that. And you're like, hey, yeah, that's fine with me type of thing. Because usually in bands, sometimes that causes fallouts, doesn't it? If you feel like someone's taking over or anything like that. So I think that you guys will definitely be successful if you've got that kind of dynamic already. So you've played the Academy already, haven't you, in Manchester?
Yeah, Manchester.
What was that like?
Oh my God,
that's a big venue.
That was nerve-wracking for me first time.
Yeah?
That was like, that was the biggest stage I had been on at that time.
It's a massive, massive venue. I've watched some pretty good bands there, huge bands as well. So will you be planning to play there again? Do you think?
Definitely. If you like music, just don't lose any options, don't lose chances, just go with it.
Exactly, and rejection's part of it, isn't it? You might send your music off to some record label and they'll go, no, not for us. And it's like, oh no, but then it's like, right, well, we're not going to be knocked down. We're going to send it off and send it off and send it off until somebody, you've got to be, I think, quite... assertive with it, haven't you? And be in people's faces and be like, listen to our stuff, be relentless.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Teddy. Best of luck.
Rachel Darne.
96.5 Bolton FM.
Willow, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You're part of F3INT band, obviously. Tell me about your role in the band.
Well, I'm the drummer.
Girl drummer, like it.
I only just joined last year, I think.
Oh, is it really that short a time?
Yeah.
Wow. And how's your journey been with the band so far? What have you enjoyed?
Probably gigging and stuff the most.
Yeah, you've done quite a few gigs. Do you think it's important to keep doing the gigs and keep getting yourselves out there?
Yeah.
Because it can be tiring, can't it? It can be like, oh, well, I'd rather do this, but we've got this gig. And do you ever feel like that? Or
no, not really.
No, do you love it and just want to just do it?
Yeah.
Excellent. So what are your influences then? What music are you into and what, influences you?
Well, it depends because my music taste is just all over the place.
Yeah.
Like a bit of everything.
A bit of everything. Yeah, as long as it's a decent song in your eyes. What makes it for you? Is it the lyrics or the melody? Do you think of a song?
It's just a bit of everything, really, but the melody is a good part for me.
Yeah, it has to be a good melody, doesn't it? Depending on how you're feeling as well. So why do you enjoy drumming so much?
I don't know. There's just something about it. Just makes me really happy, I guess.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite drummer?
Not a favourite in particular, but I like Taylor Hawkins and stuff.
Yeah. Dave Grohl. Yeah. Shame about Taylor. But I believe the tribute festival went really well. Well, is there any advice you'd give to anyone who wants to join a band?
Definitely give it a go, because you never know if you don't try. Like, I wasn't even sure of it at first, but now that I'm here, like, I'd definitely do it again.
How long have you been doing drums? Like, when did you first learn?
5 years, I think.
So you practice on your own as well as, like, with the band. How often do you do rehearsals?
Usually it's once a week, but if we have something important coming up, we'll have, like, more, like, throughout the week.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, best of luck for the future, and thank you so much for chatting to me today.
Bolton FM.
Cameron is back in the hot seat. Howdy.
All right.
Are you all right? Your bandmates have done well with the interviews. I'm liking
definitely.
it. I'm liking it. It's good to hear from others in the band other than the singer, you know, so I like it. So I try and promote that. So just a bit of a roundup. What have you got coming up in the next couple of months? I know you've got a few gigs. If anyone wants to look at the gigs, are they on your Facebook or your Instagram? And
we put a load of things on the Instagram and the Facebook and stuff, so
check them out for gig dates of what's coming up. So you wanted to tell me about the Summer song.
Well, Summer, it's one of the first songs that we wrote, so
it's quite precious then, that song, isn't it? Is that the one? You'll always remember that, and it's a really, really decent song. Yeah. Really decent. I've had it in my playlist for the last couple of weeks, so I will continue to keep it in there. But you have another song coming out as well, don't you?
Oh, yeah. It's called Note, and brought it, a month ago, to rehearsal, and just came up with it.
Yeah, was it just done within that rehearsal session and you were like, this is a good song now?
Well, I think it took like a couple rehearsals, but what I did, I brought down all the recording stuff and we just had one rehearsal dedicated to writing the tune.
That's what you've got to do. I like that discipline.
Oh, yeah.
I like that, organising yourselves and going, do you know what, we're just going to beast this one for this session. Because it can get a bit like, well, let's work on this song, let's try this. Because I have seen bands in rehearsals do that. It's very bitty and very, especially if you haven't finished a song off and then moving on to the next one because you're bored. It's better to just finish off one, innit? Get it sorted. It's going to be boring in some parts, isn't it? Getting all the little bits ironed out. But then once you've done it and you've got a masterpiece, it's worth it. I look forward to hearing that. So is that sort of coming out next week? Will I be able to play it on my show next week?
Yeah.
I'll get it on there. So that's Note. That's your latest release that's going to be released next week. So I'll make sure I do that on this show Thursday between 6 and 8. So get everybody listening to it. Got your orders. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and it's a pleasure catching up with you. Obviously, Cameron, I saw you at Booth's Music in 2019, I think it was. You were there with Clint Boone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember?
Well,
and you did a performance there. You were performing, and I'd heard it on the radio. I didn't even know it was happening, driving home, and I did a quick, sharp left to come into Bolton, and I thought, I'm going to go and see them. And Clint Boone, this is all happening at Booth's Music. So I got down there, met you, your dad, met Clint Boone. Badly Drawn Boy was there as well, do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? You'd come down to sort of promote yourselves in front of Clint Boone. And
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good, meeting him as well. Yeah, I think it was another interview as well.
So brilliant. Well, I hope that does happen for you again in the future and you get to meet Clint Boone again and Badly Drawn Boy. I kind of dried up a bit talking to him. I kind of got a bit starstruck because I've been a fan for years. And I said, oh, yeah, you're from Bolton, aren't you? He went, no, I live in Manchester. I went, oh, no, but I mean, originally, are you from Bolton? And he was like, yeah. But he was all right. But then I kind of felt silly then. So I'm like, if I see him again, I'm going to nail the interview with him. So I kind of got a bit embarrassed, but that's by the by. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and I wish you all the luck in the world, and I will get to your gigs this side of Christmas. F3INT, everybody. Lovely band from Bolton, absolutely smashing it on the music scene at the minute. If you missed that interview, then head over to boltonfm.com/listen. Again, you can listen to any show within the last 7 days. More for you for missing it. Make sure you don't in future. This show is on every week, every Thursday between 6 and 8 p.m. And it's the home for original music and original artists in Bolton. If you want to get involved, email newmusic@boltonfm.com.